home to scattered tribes living in small villages. Rome had become a powerful city-state, with a disciplined army and an ambition to expand its power across the region. At the head of this rising city stood the seventh and final king of Rome, Lucius Tarquinius Superbus. He was known as Tarquinius the Proud. But behind that title was a ruler who governed through fear, ambition, and absolute power. Rome expands its power. During the reign of Tarquinius Superbus, Rome continued expanding throughout the region of Latium. The surrounding Latin tribes had often resisted Roman influence, refusing to submit to Rome's growing authority. Tarquinius was not a king known for mercy. He led military campaigns against rebellious tribes, defeating them one by one. Some villages were conquered by force, while others were forced into alliances with Rome. Many defeated leaders had no choice but to swear loyalty to the Roman king. After each victory, Rome grew richer. War spoils, livestock, gold, and enslaved prisoners were brought back to the city. These victories strengthened the king's position and filled Rome's treasury. But as his power grew, so did his arrogance.
I am not.
A king who ruled alone. Unlike many kings before him, Tarquinius Superbus showed little respect for the advice of the Roman Senate. He ruled alone, making decisions without consulting Rome's noble families. The king ordered massive construction projects to demonstrate Rome's strength and greatness. Thousands of citizens were forced to work long and exhausting days building temples, walls, and enormous public works. One of the most famous projects from this era was the great underground drainage system known as the Cloaca Maxima. It was an engineering marvel, but these impressive structures were built with the sweat, suffering, and growing resentment of the Roman people. Rome was becoming wealthier and more powerful, but also more unstable. The arrogant prince, while the king ruled with authority, his sons lived in luxury and privilege. The most infamous among them was Sextus Tarquinius. Sextus Tarquinius was a prince who believed his royal status placed him above all laws and customs. One night, while Roman soldiers were camped outside the city during a military campaign, a group of officers began arguing about which of their wives was the most virtuous. To settle the debate, they decided to ride back to Rome in secret and see for themselves. When they visited several noble homes, they found many women enjoying feasts and entertainment. But when they arrived at the home of Lucretia, they saw something different. Lucretia was sitting quietly with her servants, weaving cloth late into the night. Her discipline, modesty, and virtue impressed everyone present. But for Sextus Tarquinius, it awakened a dangerous desire. The crime that changed history. A few days later, Sextus secretly returned to Lucretia's home. Trusting his royal status, she welcomed him as an honored guest. But during the night, Sextus threatened and forced himself upon her. It was not only a personal crime. In Roman society, honor and family reputation were sacred. This act was seen as a deep insult to the dignity of an entire Roman household. After the incident, Lucretia sent messengers to summon her husband and father. When they arrived, she told them everything. Shock and anger filled the room. The honor of a respected Roman family had been violated by the son of the king himself. The oath that ended the monarchy. Among those present that day was a Roman nobleman named Lucius Junius Brutus. Brutus had long been considered quiet and cautious, but that moment changed everything. He drew his sword and raised it before the gathered men. Brutus swore an oath that Rome would never again be ruled by a king. News of Sextus Tarquinius's crime spread rapidly throughout the city. The Roman people, already angered by years of harsh rule under Tarquinius Superbus, erupted in outrage. Soon, rebellion began to grow. The king is driven out. When Tarquinius Superbus attempted to return to Rome, he found the city gates closed against him. The people refused to allow their king back into the city. He and his entire family were exiled from Rome. After generations of royal rule, the Tarquin dynasty had come to an end. The birth of a new government. In 509 BC, the people of Rome made a historic decision. They abolished the monarchy forever. Instead of a king, Rome would be governed by elected leaders who would serve for limited terms. This new system of government became known as the Roman Republic. It marked the beginning of a new chapter in Roman history, a chapter in which Rome would continue to fight, expand, and eventually grow into one of the greatest civilizations the world had ever seen. But it all began with one crime, one oath, and the fall of a king.